will say this, Rupp Arena is amazing, but these chairs are tough. I mean, if you're not paying attention, you're going down.
Coach will give us an opening statement and we'll go over the questions.
Yeah, first of all, Mark Pope has done an excellent job of assembling a roster of very good basketball players, very good college basketball players, and they've quickly, through hard work, I can only imagine, found the magic wand of unselfishness, and it's impressive. I thought that we had two strong showings on the road, and in some, I wouldn't say hostile environments necessarily like this, but certainly good college basketball venues where we were challenged from the tip and we responded well. So coming into this afternoon, I felt like we had a team that was at least mentally prepared for the challenge. And Kentucky's offense was a little faster than we anticipated, getting the ball up the floor through the analytical preparation that we do as a staff. We kind of do a deep dive into BYU, did a deep dive into BYU and how fast they score off of made baskets, which is unique. His made basket point per possession at BYU was more impressive than the missed basket points per possession. So we had a pretty strong understanding that they'd get the ball up the floor quickly, looking for an advantage, and when they had one, they would play to that advantage. And I thought we weren't able to find our footing. And in an environment like this, the reason we were so lucky enough to get down here, but for me and for our program, was to be tested. We want to be in the NCAA tournament, make no mistake about it. We want to play a team similar to Kentucky come March. And the earlier that we can experience adversity like the NCAA tournament, the better we will be because of it. This was a great experience. We're a mid-major college basketball program, one of maybe 8 college basketball programs that have had nobody from an undergraduate standpoint enter the portal. And I'm very proud of that. And the reason I think that we didn't have people enter the portal is because we're a program that provides opportunities such as this, where we go to the blue bloods of the world and compete. And so this checked the box for our program in a number of different ways. I am proud of our competitive effort all the way to the finish. It's an unbelievable basketball environment. And my first job, I told Coach Pope, my first job in the business was a video coordinator for Jim O'Brien with the Indiana Pacers. Jim O'Brien was an assistant here for Rick Pitino, and one of the people that kind of took me under his wing was Walter McCarty, and I know Walt is loved around here, so I already have a great education into the Big Blue Nation. And then along with that, we have Nate Sestina, who entered Lexington from Lewisburg by storm, and I'm sure he captured the hearts of many like he did up in Lewisburg. And so this was a unique opportunity, and I'm glad that we did it.
Question for Coach? Yeah.
John, okay. How difficult is it to game plan for somebody like Kobe Brea, especially when you know that basically everybody else on the court with him can also shoot the three?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I was the associate head coach at St. Joe's for 4 years, so I am more familiar than most as it relates to Kobe Brea and his three-point shooting prowess. Having scouted Kobe Brea before, I have not seen him miss twice in a row. And that was very clearly communicated, but until you experience it, he's a professional shooter, make no mistake about it, and I think they recruited him knowing that he was the best shooter in the nation from a three-point percentage standpoint.
John, something that Kentucky had focused on through exhibitions and the Wright State game was rebounding. They had struggled a little bit in that aspect, especially on the offensive glass. Tonight they kind of hit you guys hard on the boards all night long. Was that something that, I guess, from preparation, did you notice could be a weakness of theirs? And also just how did that play out within the flow of the game?
Yeah, I mean, when you watch Kentucky, obviously they take a lot of threes. So when you play an opponent like Kentucky that won't take the first shot available unless it's a good, by their staff standards, a good shot. You have to be aware of the distance in which these shots are taken from. Long shots normally equal long rebounds. I thought that some of the rebounds they were able to basically pursue in the air were in areas that we weren't able to just physically reach them. You know, we had, I would say, if we go back, we had the proper inside position, but when you play a style of play like Kentucky does, long shots equal long rebounds. And of course, like when you're preparing for an opponent like this, and we played Duke last year at Cameron Indoor, and you go into these really unbelievably fun college basketball environments, you're trying to prepare for as much as you possibly can. At the end of the day, you're not going to be able to check every box. We out-rebounded our first 2 opponents, and this was a scenario where we will absolutely grow from. But again, I'm going to kind of go back on this thought here. They have really good college basketball players. And when you have a team full of really good college basketball players, what you see is the ball moving with under 10 minutes in the second half, with nobody holding it, hoping to get points per game. And when you have a really good group of college basketball players, they're going to attack the glass when they see an advantage, and that's what they did.
Coach, you talked about Kobe Bryant and him being such a good shooter, but what does it do for a team like Kentucky when they, and you know, your starters come in, but then another wave like Kerr, Carissa, and Bryant come in and then do what they did tonight off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, in today's world of college athletics, you look at a roster like the one they've built here, and there's a lot of transfers on it, and you would think that there would be a connection drop-off, just because it's early in the season, and you know, quite frankly, there was not. They played with the same pace, the same unselfishness, and you know, Kobe Bryant is just a lethal threat from beyond the three-point line. Normally, you know, the way that you prepare for a player like that is you make him dribble. It didn't seem to disrupt much for him tonight, and I think that'll be such an important piece of the puzzle for Kentucky going forward as they continue on this non-conference situation, especially heading to Duke or Atlanta to play Duke, where they're going to need all firepower.
John?
Hey John, we see a lot of coaches bring their teams into Rupp Arena for the first time, and I was just wondering what your approach was with your team between striking that balance between acknowledging how special it is versus, hey, it's just another game, we got to get out there and play.
Yeah. Interestingly, Bucknell basketball has played in Rupp before. It was an NCAA tournament game against Butler. So I'm an alum, so I have an immense amount of pride, similar to Coach Pope, in the program. And the pride stems from the brand of the program nationally. I think that we've created, in our world of mid-major basketball, legitimate attention throughout the last 25 years. And for us in this environment, it's an opportunity to speak about, with a group of 18 to 22-year-olds, being a part of something bigger than yourself. Despite the result, there were tons of fans, alumni, former players watching, and they're not looking for makes and misses, they're looking for effort, and they want to have pride in the fact that our group plays hard from start to finish. So that was the message. Obviously, we knew we were going to have to absorb an ambush of three-point shots. And the way we kind of described this potential upcoming game leading into it was like a 12-round fight. Can we jab enough? Can we jab enough to throw a right-hand hook and then keep jabbing? And quite frankly, Mike Tyson says it best, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face, so they came out flying.
Anyone else? Okay. Not Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.